Percy had been tasked with freight work for the past few days. He was getting tired of these jobs.
Why do I have to be stuck with all these stupid trucks? Sir Topham Hatt just doesn't understand that I have to stay clean too. It's just not fair.
Oh! Watch it, Percy!
Oh, do stop complaining, Percy. Sir Topham Hatt needs all jobs to be completed on the railway, and he needs you to pull trucks. Don't you understand that?
His driver asked. Percy knew exactly what his driver was talking about, but he didn't care. He took his line of trucks to the yards. As they were approaching the yards, the trucks began a plan to pay Percy back for being rough with them.
When we're pushed under the coal hopper, set your brakes on!
One said. The others started to giggle. Percy thought they were just being silly. As he stunted the trucks under the coal loader, they began their tricks.
Hold back! Hold back!
Percy was in no mood for tricks.
Push harder, Percy. We'll get these stupid things loaded with coal in no time.
Then the trucks set their brakes off, and Percy shot back. They timed it perfectly, and they set their brakes back on once Percy was under the coal loader. Percy couldn't move forward or back. A rumble came from above him.
Help me! Get me out!
Sir Topham Hatt soon arrived.
Well, Percy, you haven't been damaged at all. You're just a little dirty. I'd like you to take these trucks to Vickerstown, please.
But sir, I'm filthy! I don't want anyone to see me like...
Useful engines do as they are told.
Sir Topham Hatt walked away, and Percy begrudgingly took his trucks away. He crept into the sheds later that night, very embarrassed. All the engines started to laugh.
Well, Percy, I see you decided to get a new coat of paint.
Out of all the colors you could have picked, Percy, you chose soot black? You could have picked something much better than that. Perhaps dirt brown or mold green.
All the engines laughed at James's comment.
I don't think black suits you very well, Percy.
Percy looked away and slunk to the back of the shed.
Ah, don't you feel bad, lad? Go to the West End tomorrow and you'll feel better.
The next afternoon, Percy took some supplies to a spot in the line where the workmen were replacing the rails. He was still in a bad mood and was careless with what he was doing. Just then, Henry passed by with a slow train.
Hello, Percy. Off to play in the coal mines after this?
Stupid Henry.
Then Percy started to roll forward.
Wait, Percy!
Yes? Oh yes, how are you? Oh, I see. Okay, I'll send a... Oh dear. Well, you see, there was another accident on the other side on the island. So the breakdown train is being used. I guess you'll have to have another engine pull him back onto the rails.
Percy was sulking.
Oh, don't get all cross with me. It was your fault you came off the rails.
Percy paid no attention to his driver, but then he heard a whistle and his heart sank. Henry came puffing to the scene of the accident. He was purple in the face with laughter.
I passed by you, thinking to myself that you get yourself into something, and now here I am, rescuing you from an...
Henry laughed on as the workman attached him to Percy. He laughed as he pulled Percy back onto the rails. He was still laughing as he went away to go back to his coaches. So Topham Hatt had some stern things to say to Percy later that night.
I'm tired of you constantly causing trouble on this railway. If you are to prove to me that I can trust you with working on my railway, then you need to change your ways. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
He said sheepishly.
Alright. Then I want you to work at the docks with Salty.
Percy arrived at the docks the next day. He did his jobs with no trouble at all, but he felt bad about himself. But Salty made him feel much better about things, and his work seemed easier. He felt very pleased with himself. But a few days later, trouble came. Percy was arranging some stone trucks. After this, he had to get a line of tankers ready for James to pick up later. He was supposed to arrive at 11:30, so Percy had about an hour to get situated, but James thought he was to arrive earlier.
And you're completely sure that it's 10:30 that we need to be at the docks, correct, James?
Of course I do. When have I ever gotten the times that I need to pull a train wrong?
Alright then, if you're sure, we'll roll tender first. It's only a short distance.
James came backing up towards the harbour, but neither he or Percy noticed each other until it was too late. As the dust settled, the two engines examined the mess. James was furious.
What on earth do you think you're doing, Percy? You completely ruined my tender.
What am I doing? You weren't supposed to arrive for another hour.
The two engines kept on arguing until Sir Topham Hatt arrived.
One of you explain what happened.
He said sternly. The two engines explained their sides of the story.
Well, I'd have to say, it's both your faults.
With that, he left. Edward soon arrived to take James to the works.
Oh, my tender. My beautiful tender. All because of a stupid little tank engine. Why did this have to happen to me?
Shut up, James. It was mostly your fault to begin with.
Humph.
Percy and Salty spent the rest of the morning cleaning up the mess. Later that evening, Percy decided to tell his problems to Salty.
I really wish that I could tell Sir Topham Hatt how sick I am of doing all these dirty jobs.
Well, Percy, you should just tell Sir Topham Hatt how you feel about doing these jobs. It won't be hard.
You're right, Salty.
2 days later, Sir Topham Hatt came to inspect the harbour.
You're getting on very well, Percy. Well done.
Percy decided to tell him how he felt.
Sir, may I speak with you for a second?
Of course, Percy. What is it?
Well, sir, I've been doing all these dirty jobs, and I understand that you need all jobs to be done on the railway, but I would like it if I could have a break from all these jobs.
I'd be glad to give you a small break, Percy. I didn't realize that's how you felt.
Sir Topham Hatt said warmly. Percy was very pleased, and did the rest of his work without any problems. The next day it was arranged for he and Thomas to switch jobs for the day. Percy had never felt so glad to pull passengers in his life, and later that night he got to do his favourite job, pulling the mail train.
I've never been so glad to see mail trucks.
he said happily.
Well, let's just hope nothing bad happens to us like those past few days.
Percy and his crew laughed, and nothing bad ended up happening to them, or anyone on Sodor.